Jan Miller and I edit New Law Journal. NLJ is a weekly magazine which keeps legal practitioners in civil litigation fully up to date with developments in court, in legislation and in practice. New Law Journal, NLJ, specialises in civil litigation. So it's all about divorce, property disputes, employment disputes, and a big area called personal injury, which most of you will have had some experience of. So looking at that, we're focused on lawyers, and when we say lawyers, we're talking about solicitors, barristers, judges, government lawyers, and some academics and also students who read law, so quite a wide audience, but all focused on civil litigation, who are looking to be kept up to date with what's happening in their world. So they're dealing with daily requests from clients about how to best deal with their case. And what NLJ does is really focus on the big case law, the changes in government, things that are going to directly impact their clients. It's hard to avoid all the big changes that are going on in the law at the moment. I'm sure some of you will have been following things like cuts to legal aid. There's a huge project the government are driving forward on costs in civil litigation. It's become very expensive to take a case to court, and lots of legal aid, which is where people are given help to take a case to court, that's being slashed by the government. So the hot topics within civil litigation is about costs and funding and the huge changes that will be coming in on the back of something called the Legal Services Act. The Legal Services Act will impact the law, the civil law, just as much as the Big Bang did for the banks and the accountancy firms in the 80s and 90s. And the impact of introducing what's called alternative business structures. So this is something you may have seen if you look at W.H. Smith are getting into the law, the AA, the Halifax, some big brand names, Virgin will even be in there. These are people offering what's called commoditised law. This will impact our readers who tend to run their own practices, because this area, lots of people will be offering will writing, conveyancing for when you buy a house, doing a divorce for you. This will all impact on the legal profession. So that's one of our major topics, which is the freeing up of the legal world, where non-lawyers can participate in legal practices. NLJ helps practitioners. It's weekly, it's bang up to date, and it's written by professionals. We use practitioners who are actually dealing with these problems daily and at a very high level. What's published in NLJ goes to the core of how best to run your business, keeping you up to date with what clients need to know and ensuring you're a step ahead of the competition. NLJ has quite a few competitors. A similar publication to ours is called Solicitor's Journal. This is also weekly. It's slightly younger than us, and we're over 180 years old. That's NLJ. Solicitor's Journal covers civil litigation. It also covers criminal litigation. So it combines what my magazine does, NLJ, and what Diana's magazine does, Criminal Law and Justice Weekly. They're our direct competitor. They're similar in the price range, but we offer a free CPD service, continuing professional development. Solicitor's Journal charge for theirs, so there is a slight discrepancy there. There's also the Law Society publication, which you may have heard of, called the Gazette. The Law Society Gazette goes to all practitioners, criminal and civil, and it's on what's called a forced circulation, as in everybody who's on the roll of solicitors, everybody who practices as a lawyer gets it, whereas our publication is subscription only. There's also The Lawyer and Legal Week, both very good publications, but offering a different product. In NLJ, we're offering pure law, advances on the law, opinion, and authoritative discussions. The Lawyer and Legal Week are quite good if you're looking for jobs, but they're quite light.
Okay.
NLJ is the market leader on pure law within civil litigation. It helps practitioners focus their practice area and know what the important elements are and what they should be considering. 2011 is a special year for NLJ. We won for the second time the Bio-Legal Journal of the Year. This is we're the first journal ever, first magazine to win it twice. And this is voted on by librarians and information managers within major, small and sole practitioner law firms. So we're delighted with that. Why did we win this award? For a whole list of reasons. The quality of our authors, the superior commentary, the valued opinion pieces we run every week by leading practitioners across all areas of civil law. We've got some of the best authors out there. Our CPD programme, which is free to subscribers, our full and fully searchable archive. NLJ for the past 5 years is now available on our website. And that's where CPD is also available for free to subscribers. We run some pretty special pages within NLJ, keeping practitioners in civil litigation fully up to date with procedure and practice. Nothing's more important to practitioners than to make sure they're running their cases properly. Imagine losing a case because you didn't know some little procedural practice rule had not been updated, or had been updated rather. Sorry. NLJ material is often used as a source of reference, either quoted in Hansard or quoted in court, which is a huge privilege for us and a great bow to our authors. One of the main beauties of NLJ, and Diana's mag as well, is highlighting to practitioners what they should be reading about. So they can read my magazine and Diana's magazine quite quickly, but what they then do is it alerts them to go away and do deeper research. So it then pushes them into different parts of the business, so they'll be doing their research on Lexis. We shouldn't really date this film, but we're recording at quite a fun time of the year for CPD, continuing professional development. This is the end of the academic year for CPD points for solicitors. So they've all been rushing to get their points and running off to conferences. If they only knew that NLJ offers 2 hours of free CPD to subscribers every month, it's an easy, efficient and useful way for them to get their CPD points. And it's all free once they've subscribed to NLJ. As a magazine devoted to civil law, NLJ covers a lot of ground. So I think I mentioned that we look at property, employment, family, public, commercial, EU, libel. I want to go on. There's a huge, huge list of topics. So don't be worried if you're slightly thrown by a question a customer may ask you. It's a huge area of law. Over 95% of all the law in the country is civil, probably more than that. So if there's anything that they ask you don't know, you can come to me or my assistant. It'd be lovely to hear from you. And always offer to go that extra mile and find out for them. And I'm on 2582. I think it would help them sleep well at night, knowing that they've got some of the best legal minds in the world looking out for them and being published in NLJ. NLJ also covers a growing area of law that you may have heard of, something called ADR, Alternative Dispute Resolution. This includes mediation, arbitration, things that ACAS does for employees when they're having disputes at work. So that's a huge and growing and very important area of law, particularly with the government possibly introducing forced mediation in divorce cases. So there's a lot going on there, and that's an area that lots of lawyers are having to retrain as mediators to make sure they've got all their bases covered. NLJ is a must-have work tool and super value for money. Not only do you get a weekly, up-to-date reference tool which helps you make sure you're giving your clients the top advice on law that is changing very fast, you also have a fully searchable archive within NLJ. We've got over 7,000 items that people who subscribe to NLJ can search through. We also offer free CPD, which is unusual and saves clients hundreds, if not thousands of pounds over the years. It's weekly, it's bang up to date. It makes sure practitioners can sleep at night knowing they're giving the best advice to their clients. One thing I forgot to mention, NLJ runs a series of newscasts, which are live topical debates run by some of our leading contributors. We've got some very special columnists on NLJ. We've got David Green, who's our consultant editor, one of the leading litigators in London. He's joined by another NLJ columnist, a chap called Dominic Regan. Professor Dominic Regan is what we call a costs guru. He's a Part 36 expert, which is all down to money and what the Jackson, i.e. the costs changes, how that will impact civil litigation. Another super NLJ columnist is Sir Geoffrey Bindman. Geoffrey was knighted for his contributions to human rights and isn't afraid of saying what he thinks about human rights in NLJ. So very welcome to him. And also Roger Smith. Some of you may know Roger. He's Director of Justice. He's another NLJ columnist. We're also blessed to have DJ Stephen Gold, who runs our Civil Way for us and has for many years. And that's a gem that's unique to NLJ. And last but not least, we've got Ian Smith, a brilliant professor of employment law. He writes Harvey's, which is one of the most renowned and revered textbooks in the world. And he writes for NLJ every month. Thank you very much.